Om Srimate Ramanujaya Namaha. In mythological subject, we get lots of doubts. Some people used to get the doubt of why is Lord Vishnu colored in blue? We can see the gods are different in colors. When we see Goddess Saraswati, white, Lakshmi red, Parvati in black in color, Lord Krishna black in color, Sri Ramachandra color is like green, Vishnu is like ocean blue. Why these colors are adopted in God's creation? Most of us not know this well. When we come across the color of blue, generally in Sanskrit, Neela, the word can be used Kala, Shyama, etc. Even for black also used Neela word in Sanskrit. Because in God's creation, everything is good of others. It denotes. Our ignorance makes us a differentiation. But the creation of God, everything is meant for auspiciousness. To impart these kind of knowledge, Lord Vishnu appeared in the form of blue in color. Lord Krishna is black. Nowadays we can see the people who are aware of the color of black. We see most of the people do not like the color of black, but they are all devotees of Lord Krishna. See, pathetic condition. They like black colored Krishna, but they don't like black colored things. What it denotes? 100% ignorance. All the colors are meant for prosperous only. If we say black is inauspicious, why do the people of Ayyappa, devotees, wear black only? Is it? Another joke. All the women are men. Those hairs are whitened in color. They used to put dye of black. Is it not? Why should they use black when they are hating the black? So it is 100% wrong. Whatever the color of wearing is nothing wrong. Its mind is not broadly thinking. It's a narrow thinking mind. People used to say these kind of differentiation from God. I saw somewhere the people are talking about the color of the people and degrading them when they are not in a good color. That's why Lord makes us to understand everything created by Him is useful in this universe. For imparting this kind of knowledge on us is given the color of this. Unknowingly we people are differentiating. Even God, who appears in the form of blue in color as a Lord Vishnu, is organizer of this universe. Is it not? That's why we are not even think of their color. We should avoid the thinking of the colors of others or things. We should think the qualities of others, and we should adopt the quality from them, not color from them. We should not criticize, because God's creation, every human being, every being is equal. We should not see or show the difference between them. Today, in this regard, I took the topic of why is Lord Vishnu colored blue? Let us see the detail. Meghashyamam Pitakaucheyavasam Srivatsankam Kaustubodbhasitangam Punyopetam Pundarikayatakszam Vishnum Vande Sarvalokaikanaatham. We may always wonder when watching devotional programs or on seeing calendars with images of Hindu gods, in that why is Lord Vishnu colored blue and what makes him special? To answer that, one should first understand what Vishnu, the preserver of the systems, one among the Trimurtis, represents and does. Lord Vishnu is seen as the divine arbitrator. He protects justice and moral order by meditating disagreements, whether they involve humans or gods. He is an archetype you might call on when seeking patience. You might identify with his gentle, merciful nature. 1/3 of the Trinity of gods who represent the three phases of cosmic existence, Vishnu sustains the universe and upholds its many more laws. LAWS, laws. Vishnu is typically depicted with sky blue skin. He also has 4 arms, Chaturbhuja, a pair of the front of his body representing his physical presence, the material world, and the 2 of the back symbolizing his existence in the spiritual realm. In each hand he holds an object, a lotus that represents purity and beauty. A conch shell means Shankha, that stands for the sacred Om sound. Mace means Gada, for strength, the destruction of evil, and a chakra, Sudarshana chakra. It symbolizes the mind, intelligence, and the self-delusion. Images and statue of Vishnu often show him in a vast ocean, resting atop a 100-headed cobra, a serpent called Seshanagu, which represents the many desires rather than being dominated by them. According to Hindu belief, Vishnu has incarnated on earth at least 9 times to destroy evil and restore justice in the world, part of his Dashavatara. In Dashavatara, except Kali, all 9 incarnations he took it. Each time he comes as a different manifestation or avatar and serves a different purpose. As Matsyavatara, a fish, Vishnu saves the Vedas, which is Hindu text containing all the knowledge of the world, from massive floods that threaten the earth. When he appears as a Kurmavatara, tortoise, Vishnu recovers the valuable things that were lost at the bottom of the ocean during the floods, including the nectar of the immortality. Vishnu incarnates as Varaha, a bird, and battles the demon Hiranyaka, who pulled the earth to the bottom of the ocean. Varaha dives into the depths of the ocean and brings earth back to safely. Vishnu then returns as a Narasimha Avatara, a being with a head and claws of a lion and the body of man. And he kills brother Hiranyakashipu, who is father of the prime devotee of Lord Vishnu, is called Prahlada. Then he took the form of as Vamana, mean a dwarf, to conquer King Bali. After that incarnation, he took as a Parasurama, son of the great sage Saptarishi sage Jamadagni, a fierce warrior. In the incarnation as a Parasurama, Vishnu uses his axe to kill Kartavirya, a king with 1,000 arms who stole Parasurama's father's holy calf. Another incarnation of Vishnu includes Rama, a king, an ideal man, and Maryada Purushottam. He is also suitable for the word of Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmaha. Lord Rama is said to be the seventh incarnation of Lord Vishnu and the main character in the classic Hindu epic, the Ramayana. The Lord Rama represents righteousness, truth, and strength of character. This representation is not known for a single mission or triumph, but for holding on to his ideals in the face of many challenges. Rama has been given the status of a god by Hindu followers or devotees. And another incarnation is that of Krishna, the deity. Like Rama, Lord Krishna is also revered as a god in the Hindu faith. However, Krishna is seen as more playful, endearing, and accessible than Lord Rama, who is known for the fact that he personifies perfection. There are many tales about Krishna's pranks and love escapes with the cow maidens. As eighth incarnation of Vishnu, Krishna is also the protagonist in another Hindu epic, the Mahabharata. At a very young age, Krishna slays a number of powerful demons, including Kamsa, the king of snakes. According to tradition, Krishna is only incarnation of Vishnu who was aware of his divine powers from infancy. For this reason, Krishna is commonly equated with Vishnu rather than being considered only by an incarnation. Moreover, Krishna is called full incarnation of Lord Vishnu. That's why Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. The word came from that, the sentence came for that. In some branches of the Hinduism, Gautama Buddha is believed to be ninth incarnation of Vishnu, while other states the brother of Krishna is called Balarama. Krishna's brother is the ninth avatara. Kalki, the prophesied god, is the 10th representation of Vishnu who has not yet appeared on earth. When Kalki arrives, it is said that he will come to destroy evil and restore the moral order of humanity by the end of Kali Yuga period, the current era in the Hindu calendar. Since we are only 5,000 years into Kali Yuga, which is said to last 4,32,000 years, it may be a long time before the Kalki Avatara appears. As you can see, Lord Vishnu sustains and preserves the universe and is omnipresent. Symbolism says that the color blue attributed to Lord Vishnu is to emphasize, to stress, and represent that he is infinite like sky and ocean. Anantam, is it not? Can you measure sky? Can you measure ocean? No. Similarly, that's why the color is blue. Blue color is representation of Lord Vishnu. Sanatana Dharma places a huge emphasis on teaching through representations of anything and everything that concerns them. Vishnu is an infinite force. He has no form, no name, and thus he is incommensurable. The blue color is the representation of this. The blue color also represents Vishnu's cosmic dimensions and his connection with Vedic gods of rain and thunder and his relationship with the earth. Swami Vivekananda says, the God of infinite love and object of love, sublime and infinite, are painted blue. It is a natural law that anything sublime and infinite is associated with blue color. Now I think you might understood the greatness of color in blue. Take a handful of water. It is absolutely colorless. But look at the deep wide ocean. It is as blue as anything. Examine the space near you. It is colorless. But look at the infinite expansion of the sky. It appears blue. Besides, Vaikuntha is the eternal home or abode of Supreme Lord Vishnu. The glimpse of Vaikuntha is described in Bhagavata Purana as follows. How? The inhabitants of the Vaikuntha planets are described as having a glowing sky bluish complexion, and all these combined together appear just like the sky, decorated with both clouds and lightning of various aspects. There are three major divinities in Hindu philosophy and religion, and one of them is blue. Vishnu, the god of love and preservation. Once, anything blue review. Vishnu, the blue god of Hinduism. Krishna's magic flute and blue skin. Because his energy or the outermost ring of his aura was blue. He was simply irresistibly attractive. It is blueness in one's aura which suddenly makes a person irresistibly attractive. This blueness, the sense of all inclusiveness in him was such that even people who were sworn enemies of his sat with him and unwillingly gave in to him. He was able to effortlessly turn around even people who abused and plotted to kill him any number of times. There are various other aspects to him, but this blue nature constantly assisted him in everything that he did. Along with a rich mythology comprising of many divinities, fantastic spirits, and heroic characters, the oldest religion in the world has three main gods: Brahma, creator; Vishnu, organizer, and Shiva, destroyer. Therefore, generator, organizer, destroyer. That's why these three letters called God. The three Hindu gods complete each other and co-manage the rules of life and death. To sum it up, while Brahma is a great creator of the universe and Shiva is a great destroyer representing change, Vishnu is a great protector who restores balance. Associated with the light and the sun, Vishnu is often represented in blue with four arms. Nilamekha Shyama, Chaturbhuja. His feet are worshipped. As the legend goes, he took 3 steps across earth, sky, and heaven. The blue god is also represented riding the king of bird Garuda or standing next to his female consort Lakshmi. Lakshmi goddess is not represented with blue skin, but Vishnu often appears in the Hindu mythologies under the disguise of avatar, also represented in blue, such as Rama, hero of Ramayana, and Krishna, hero of Mahabharata as well as Bhagavad Gita. But mainly we have to see Krishna mean Bhagavad Gita, not Mahabharata. Mahabharata, countless characters. One of character is Krishna. But here Bhagavata only Krishna Bhagavata. 2 sacred texts in the Hindu philosophy. Why is Vishnu blue? In Sanskrit, words for dark, black and blue overlap. So blue could be a poetic form of depict Vishnu's dark skin. How? Neela, Shyama, Kala and Krishna. Note that it also overlaps with green as in many languages. But in this case, why are the other gods depicted in a different color? It leaves us with another theory of blue as a spiritual meaning. According to Isha Yoga founder Jaggi Vasudev, also known as Sadguru Vasudev, also known as Sadguru, Vishnu and his avatar Krishna are represented blue, for they had blue aura, a blue tinted energy, or in other words, an irresistible charm. Blue is the color of all inclusiveness. You will see in the existence anything that is vast and beyond your perception generally tends to be blue, whether it is the ocean or the sky. The Angkor Wat temple was built as a dedication to Vishnu. The Bhagavata Purana summarizes the Vaishnava theology, wherein it frequently discusses the merging of the individual soul with the absolute Brahman, ultimate reality, supreme truth, or the return of Brahman into his own true nature. A distinctly Advaitic or non-dualistic philosophy of Adi Shankara. The concept of moksha is explained as ekatva, oneness, and sayujya, absorption, intimate union, wherein one is completely lost in Brahman self, supreme being, one's true nature. This states Rukmini is proclamation of return of the individual soul to absolute and its merging into the absolute, which is unmistakably Advaitic in its trend. In the same passages, the Bhagavata includes a mention of Bhagavan as object of concentration, thereby presenting the bhakti path from 3 major parts of Hindu spirituality discussed in Bhagavad Gita. The theology in the Bhagavad Gita discusses both the sentient and the non sentient, the soul and the matter existence. It envisions the universe as a body of Vishnu, in Krishna. Vishnu is Gita's theology, pervades all souls, all matter and time. In Sri Vaishnavism sub-tradition, Vishnu and Sri Goddess Lakshmi are described as inseparable, that they pervade everything together. Both together are the creators, who also pervade and transcend their creation. The Bhagavata Purana, in many passages, parallels the idea of Nirguna Brahman and non-duality of Adi Shankaracharya. What is this? The aim of life is inquiry into the truth and not the desire for enjoyment in heaven by performing religious rites. Those who possess the knowledge of the truth call the knowledge of non-duality as a truth. It is called Brahman, the highest self, and Bhagavan. Scholars describe the Vaishnava theology as built on the foundation of non-dualism speculations in Upanishads and term it as Advaitic theism. The Bhagavata Purana suggests that God Vishnu and the soul in all beings is one. The monism discussed in Bhagavata Purana is certainly built on the Vedanta foundations, but not exactly of Adi Shankara. The Bhagavata asserts that the empirical and the spiritual universe are both metaphysical realities and manifestations of the same oneness. Just like heat and light are the real but different manifestations of sunlight. When you come to Bhakti movement, ideas about Vishnu in the mid first millennium were important to Bhakti movement theology that ultimately swept India after the 12th century. The Alvars, 12 Alvars, 12 Alvars, which literally means those immersed in God, were Tamila Vaishnava poet saints who sang praises of Vishnu as they travelled from the place to another. Their songs are called Divya Prabandham. 4,000 songs were sung by different Alvas in praise of Lord Vishnu. They established temple signs such as Sri Rangam and spread ideas about Vaishnavism. Their poems compiled as Alvar Arul Cheilgal or Divya Prabandham developed into an influential scripture for the Vaishnavas. The Bhagavata Purana's references to the South Indian Alvar saints, along with its emphasis on bhakti, have led many scholars to give it South Indian origins, though some scholars question whether this evidence excludes the possibility that Bhakti movement had parallel developments in other parts of India. Vishnu is also described in the Vedic literature as the one who supports heaven and earth. Tadasya priyamabhipato shyam naro yatra devayavo madanti urukramasya sahibanduritta विष्णोः पदे परमे मध्वोत्सहा. Might I reach the dear cattle pen of his, where men seeking the gods find elation, for exactly that is the bond to the wide striding one, the wellspring of honey in the highest step of Vishnu. Aham pitrun suvidatram avitsi napatam cha vikramanam cha Vishnoh barhishado ye swadhaya sutasya bhajanta pitvataiha gamishtaha. I have found here the forefathers good to find, and the grandson and the wide side of Vishnu. Those who sitting on ritual grass share in the pressed soma and the food at Swadha, they are the most welcome arrivals here. Thus, we can see the greatness of Lord Vishnu and his infinity color of blue. श्रीकांताय कल्याण निधे निवेदनाम श्री वेंकट निवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मंगलम मंगलाशासन पर मदाचार्य पुरोगमैः सर्वैष पूर्वैराचार्य सत्कृतायास्तु मंगलम्.